Today for Reader's Workshop, we are going to be starting a new unit. So I got very lucky and I got a brand new book. And it's called Becoming Experts Reading Nonfiction. So today we'll be learning about nonfiction books. And so I want you to think in your head about what you know to be true about nonfiction books, right? So we already talked about fiction books. So fiction books are things that don't really happen in the real world. They're all made up things. So then nonfiction books are what? Books about real things that really happen, right? So what we're going to learn today is that today I want to teach you that readers of nonfiction books do an extra brainy, intense kind of thinking. Readers pay attention to details and think, how can I put together what I am seeing to grow knowledge of the topic? So we have a brand new anchor chart behind me and it says, nonfiction readers grow knowledge. We need to pay attention to the details, and the details are everything that's happening in the book, all the little facts and everything about the topic. And then we're going to put the parts of the text together in your mind, okay, like a puzzle piece fitting together. So the first book that I want to read you today, or the book that I want to read you today, is this book. And this book is called What If You Had Animal Feet? And I really like this book because it has real pictures and then it has pictures that someone drew. So let's look and see what kind of things, how we can tell that this book is nonfiction. It says, what if one day when you woke up and climbed out of bed, the feet you planted on the floor weren't yours? What if overnight a wild animal's feet took their place at the end of your legs? And then on each page, it has a different animal that you became or pretend to become. So this one is a kangaroo. And then it's going to tell you all about the kangaroo, so I'm going to read it to you. It says, Eastern Gray Kangaroo. An Eastern Gray kangaroo's hind legs, so their back legs, are super big. Just the sole of an adult's foot can be 18 inches long, so the sole is like the bottom of your foot. Big feet help a kangaroo jump about 30 feet in a single hop. Each huge jump means a kangaroo can cover a lot of ground fast. Fact. And then at the bottom, so that's what that said up there, and then at the bottom it has a fact to read. So a fact is something that we know to be true. So it says, fact. Eastern gray kangaroos live in groups called mobs. When one kangaroo senses danger, it thumps its hind feet on the ground to warn the others. So this is the real picture of a kangaroo. And then this is a picture someone drew to pretend that you or this girl would have kangaroo feet instead. It says, if you had Eastern gray kangaroo hind feet, you'd be able to jump as high as 6 feet, so you could reach high shelves with ease. So you could jump really, really high. You could jump higher. If I stood up, you could jump higher than I am. So that's really cool. So a lot of times, nonfiction books are trying to teach us something. So this is trying to teach us all about the kangaroo on this page. So I'm looking at all the details. I'm looking at the pictures. I'm looking at all of the words. I'm looking at this fact down here and the picture over here of their legs. And I'm looking at the whole page. So I'm looking at all the details so I can put all the parts of the text together so I can learn about this animal. So what do I know about a kangaroo from this page? They can jump very, very, very high. So that's what I learned about kangaroos from this page. Let's try another page. What animal is that? It's a fly. This is actually called a house fly. So if I wasn't sure what this word said up here, I could break it apart because I can see that it has two parts. So I have the word house and then I have the word fly over there. So it's a compound word, house fly. So I put them together, housefly. So I'm going to show you the pictures first, and then I'll read all of the words. And then again, that's a picture that someone drew. Okay? Housefly. A housefly's feet have tiny claws for gripping. Plus, they have foot pads covered with hair-like parts that give off a gluey substance, so a fly sticks where it lands, even upside down on the ceiling. Fact: a housefly's feet are also covered with sensors that act like your tongue's taste buds, so a fly can taste what it steps on. So when it's walking, it's like it can taste what it's stepping on. So if it steps in something gross, then it can taste it. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So see, I'm remembering the details of things that I'm learning. And then it says, if you had housefly feet, you'd be a basketball superstar. You could run up the wall and across the ceiling to drop the ball through the hoop. You'd never miss a shot. So they can stick on the top of the ceiling, which is what the author is showing you over there. And then that's a housefly, and then it's showing you their feet over there so that you can see them in good detail. So that's a nice detail that they're teaching you. And then it's telling you that they can taste with their feet. So that's interesting. So again, I'm trying to remember all the facts and putting them all together. Okay. So this animal looks interesting. And now if I wasn't sure what it was, if I couldn't read the words, I'd have to look at the picture, look at that picture, look at this picture, and then I could probably figure out that it's a lizard, right? And then I can tell because this word right here starts with a l sound, so lizard. This is called a green basilisk lizard. A green basilisk lizard's back feet have long toes fringed with skin. This fringe spreads out when it slaps its foot down. When it slaps its foot on water, air becomes trapped under each toe, and when it runs fast, this keeps the lizard on the surface for at least 15 feet. So instead of, if you walked on water, you'd fall, or you'd sink to the bottom of the pool or the lake or wherever you are. Well, a lizard, it can spread its feet apart like this, and then it'll have like skin that's connecting it a little bit. And when it does that, then it can walk on top of the water for 15 feet. So it could take 15 feet across the water. Fact: when it sinks underwater, a green basilisk lizard's toes become great swim fins, so it also can swim under the water. If you had green basilisk lizard feet, you wouldn't need a bridge to cross the stream. You'd be on the other side in no time. So this is a picture. This is a picture of a real lizard. And see, it's walking on the water. You can see the water splashing up over there, and it's not sinking. And then this is a close-up picture of the feet. And then this is the boy walking or running on the water. So that's pretty cool. So I want you to think in your brain, what kind of feet would you like to have? Would you like to have kangaroo feet? To jump really high? Housefly feet so you could walk on the ceiling? Or lizard feet so you could walk on the water? Which one do you think would be the best for you? Okay, let's read one more page right now, and then we'll maybe read them more another day, okay? Okay, I want you to guess what the animal is. It's super fast. It's the fastest animal ever. And it has dots on it, and it has a long tail, and it runs on 4 paws. It's a cheetah. Look, she's running so fast. So what I know about cheetahs already is they run really fast. So I already know that. So when I'm reading, that's going to help me read the story or the page. Cheetah. A cheetah's foot is made up of soft pads, a center one, and toe pads, plus nails. Shaped like that, it has a new name. Instead of a foot, it's called a paw. A cheetah's paw pads are tough and rigid with tire treads, and the cheetah's sturdy nails act like cleats. so its paws keep it from slipping under super fast sprints. These amazing paws help a cheetah run as fast as 70 miles per hour. So when your mom and dad goes on the freeway, that's just about how fast that they're driving. So the cheetah can run as fast as your car's moving on the freeway. That's faster than any other land animal. Fact: a cheetah's patterns of footpad ridges are as unique as fingerprints, which means no two cheetahs have the same paws. If you had cheetah feet, you'd be on time for school every day because you'd always catch the bus. So that's a close picture of a cheetah. And then over here it's showing you their paws. And then this is showing the girl running. So when we're reading nonfiction books, we want to pay attention to all the details. So a lot of nonfiction books have really cool pictures. So we want to make sure that we're looking at the pictures to help us learn more about a topic. And then we're making sure that we're putting all the parts, we're using the pictures, we're using all of the words to put it all together so that we can learn. Okay? So what I want you to do today is find a nonfiction book at home. If you don't have one at home, you can always go on RazKids or Kids AZ. Remember when we talked about that last week? How you can go on there and there have plenty of nonfiction books. So maybe find one about an animal that you really like, and then you can tell me all about what animal you chose to read about. So remember, nonfiction books are real. They're about real things. So they're about different plants, they're about animals, they're about space. If you like space, you could read a book about the planets. There's lots of different things that you can read. But a lot of times the reason why we read nonfiction books is to learn something. So if I wanted to learn about animals and animal feet, then I could read this book. If I wanted to learn about something else, then I could read a book about that. If I love space, then I could go and get a book about Saturn or about Neptune and read a book about that. Okay? So I want you to find a nonfiction book either at your house, or if you don't have one at your house, then go on Kids AZ or RazKids on your computer or your tablet and read at least a few nonfiction books today, and then go and find someone at home. Remember, you can find your mom or your dad or your brother or sister or grandma or grandpa, whoever lives at home with you, or even your stuffed animals, and go tell them something that you learned. Go show them a page. So if I was going to teach someone about this, I could open a page about the lizard and tell my mom or dad, or if I could tell my dogs, that lizards can walk on water. And that's something that I learned today because I was paying attention to all the details. Okay? So go find a good nonfiction book to read. Maybe have someone help you and go read. And remember, we're reading for 30 minutes every day because that's how we get better and better in reading. And I believe in you, and I'm proud of you, and you can do it. So go have fun.